Hi guys, I just wanted to give you an update. I know I haven't uploaded anything in quite a long time, and unfortunately there's a reason for that. And I wanted to kind of show you guys everything that's been going on and kind of talk about the future of the channel and everything that's happening. My parents' house was but was destroyed or significantly damaged when Hurricane Ida came tearing through Louisiana. You know, it is what it is. There are a lot of people who had it worse off than us, I'm sure. At least it's repairable, but it was a massive, amount of damage that tore off the roof and, did a significant amount of damage to the yard and all of that. So I finally compiled all of that footage and a bunch of pictures and things, and I kind of wanted to just at least give you guys the opportunity to see it all. At least it's repairable, I guess, trying to be the optimist that I am. Could have been worse. I know several other families down there in that area took it much harder than we did, but it is still really bad. So we're going to rebuild, we're going to repair, we're going to restore, because that's what we do, right? Okay, you guys, here's the house in question. This is my family home that I grew up in, my brothers grew up in. It's been in my family for 4 generations now, I guess. Built by my great-grandfather way back when in 1880 and moved into its current location about 1890. We thought this house was completely and utterly indestructible. It's been through hundreds of storms, hurricanes, whatever. Nothing's been able to really do any kind of damage to it until Hurricane Ida came through, and the eye wall of a Category 4 on the verge of a Category 5 hurricane passed right over the top of it and just changed our opinions, I guess you could say. Tore the roof completely off the top and rained everything inside and just destroyed several of the rooms. And we did find some footage. Now, we did find this footage from someone who didn't evacuate, and then halfway through the storm ended up having to, they had to evacuate to the church that's right across a field from the house. So this is footage looking through the window of the church rectory at the house. And if you listen closely, you can hear some of the damage happening and what we think is the roof actually being torn off. So here's a survey of the damage. The back half of the house, actually, the roof didn't get blown off. So it was a 2-tiered roof, and, the back portion was fairly decent. Was left, some damage, but still at least there. But a lot of that water got blown into the attic up there because there was no roof on the other section. So there's quite a bit of damage and water just leaking down through that ceiling, into pretty much all of the rooms. I mean, I think all of the ceilings everywhere are going to have to be replaced, unfortunately. But you can really see some of the damage outside when you look through this porch screen door here. And almost all of that is just debris from the roof that got blown off. It's, disheartening to look at, but so anyway, this is walking into the front portion of the house. You can see the major damage in the hallway. That front door just got blown off. This was my old room growing up. And yeah, the ceiling itself is caving in because there's so much water on top of the insulation. That ceiling fan's seen better days. And everything's just soaking wet, unfortunately. I mean, I know it's hard to tell in the video, but everything is absolutely soaked. And then, the weight of that insulation up there means it's going to fall. Here's the hallway, which you can already tell the ceiling's falling. But yeah, look at that poor door. Just got blown. This was my older brother's room, which had turned into kind of a family room. Now I guess is not a room really at all. You can totally see all of the ceiling joists have been, or a bunch of the ceiling joists have been destroyed. The top of that chimney got blown into the room. All the ceiling is gone, and all of that wet insulation is just everywhere. Here's a look at the porch from inside that no longer kind of exists, I guess. And this is my little brother, who's actually the one filming the video. This is his room. Glad no one was in here and that everyone got out, because I'm not sure anybody could have survived when that happened. But I'm going to let you guys listen to his reaction, as he was filming this for the first time. So here you go.
Holy fucking shit. My room. It smells like the attic, though.
And it really does. Unfortunately, all of that's insulation. It's probably 30-year-old insulation, soaking wet and disgusting. So anyway, all of this is going to have to be cleaned up, pushed out, gotten rid of. Here's my mom trying to save as much toilet paper as possible. I mean, we are in a pandemic after all, right? So anyway, here's their room, my parents' room. And again, everything's soaking wet, ceiling gone. So here's a lot of the damage from the outside. These are going to go pretty fast, but the major pieces of roof just absolutely everywhere. So here's what it looked like before in that area. They had kept it fairly landscaped and nice. They do a really good job of that. And here's after. That giant tree that was about 3 feet in diameter is just torn apart like it was a matchstick. Pieces of roof everywhere. This little shed was just blown off of its piers. And there's a really good shot of the house. Just the roof had just completely gone. And a lot of the other houses in the area sustained damage, but this was definitely the worst, unfortunately. So here you go. We've got just limbs everywhere. And when you start looking at the poor porch in the front, it just got stripped. That's pieces of brick all over the place that were from those chimneys, and that's probably about, 40 feet that they got cast. There's another piece of the roof on the ground over here. Portion of the porch that's just absolutely caved in like it wasn't there. And the roof again. The rest of it was still sitting up top on the other section of roof. So strange. This poor tree right here, about a 40-year-old orange tree, and it's just split into about 5 pieces. Bunch of pieces of chairs just torn apart. You can see water damage happening there. Water damage all over all of those poor antiques. Just dirt and water everywhere. So what I'm going to try to do, guys, is I'm going to try to turn this huge negative into somewhat of a positive. A lot of these pictures you've seen, but what I'm going to try to do is I need to restore this. This is a family home, and I can't let it go. It's just been in my family for too long. So I'm going to, because my parents didn't have wind insurance, deductibles are ridiculous, and premiums are absolutely impossible for them on such a fixed income like they are. We're going to go ahead and add have a GoFundMe. So if anybody has any extra cash, would be wonderful. If that doesn't happen, I understand, but I'm going to definitely turn this into a series. So it's going to be trying to restore this historic house, Victorian farmhouse. So what I'm going to do is the next video that you guys will see from me is going to be what's been done already, because I didn't have a good idea about making this into a series. This just kind of shocked my world, of course. So I'm going to turn this into a series. So the next video will be what's been done already, how far along the process we are, and then maybe some time lapses of some more of the cleanup, because this is a ridiculous amount of cleanup. And then we're going to take that and then move that into more of the like repairing the ceiling joists, repairing the porch, moving forward on all of the actual real repairs of the home. And once everything has been restored back to what it looked like before, or similar to what it was before, then what I'll end up doing is probably, upgrading it, bringing it back to what everything looked like historically. So for now, the best I'm going to be able to do, but without a ton of money, of course, all of this is going to be, most of this I would imagine is going to be coming out of family pockets, so we don't have a ton. But we're going to do our best to try to restore it back to a similar condition to what it was before, and then we'll move forward on everything else. So if you don't mind, if you can't donate to the GoFundMe, I understand that completely, but maybe you could just like and subscribe on this video, and that'll help push everything forward and get it more people seeing it. At least more people can possibly donate to the GoFundMe, or more people might subscribe, and this might become something that can help to fund the restoration. So thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.